bright side, 2 photographs were taken showing number 15 as the past and a new Sheffield-built electric car as the present. These are the only illustrations known of the car during the first 27 years of its life. Soon after, it started its second career as a breakdown car, number 166, taking its special place among the busy traffic of those days. Not long before the Second World War, it was again renumbered, becoming 375. Here it is outside Queen's Road Works, suitably arrayed for war service. In 1946, it had a week of glory during the Sheffield Transport Jubilee celebrations as horse car number 1, drawn by horses loaned by a local brewery company, carrying passengers at a shilling a time between Moorhead and Leopold Street. Then, for some years, it went into obscurity in Tinsley Tram Depot. It was robbed of its electrical car truck, which was given to the British Transport Commission Museum. In 1959, the body of old number 15 was given to the Tramways Museum Society at Crouch in Derbyshire, and one October Saturday, it was loaded onto a lorry at Tinsley Depot for the journey to its new home. There were mixed feelings at Tinsley that morning, as photographers took control of the scene. H. Mallian was the last manager for the Sheffield Tramways Company. The Museum Society's representative signs the advice note accepting the car from the corporation before it leaves Tinsley Depot for the museum in Derbyshire. In 1961, it returned to Sheffield for the Christmas illuminations. There it is, waiting to return to Queen's Road to be prepared for the event. Now, after nearly 90 years, the car is still ready for service. Away back in 1874, her Victorian builders built well, and old number 15 has outlived them all. She 1998. Now in 1961 it is being repainted in these colours, and the Prussian blue of 1901 and the later standard Sheffield colours are being rubbed off. The original red paint was a lovely bright colour. It's a pleasure to be using it, though it's been difficult to mix the colour accurately. Now that transfers are usual, it is strange to be writing the letters by hand, but this is how they were done 60 years ago. One coat of varnish has to suffice these days, compared with 2 or 3 coats when number 15 was originally painted. As all the old details are rewritten, we feel sure our ancestors would view with great pride this delightful little tram, which is being preserved to remind us of passenger transport in those bygone days. Thanks to the craftsmen of our day, the intricacies involved with the coat of arms and other pieces of equipment have been faithfully reproduced. Weighing 29 hundredweights complete, it presented no difficulty for 6 men to produce 1 horsepower, though the points were awkward. No general manager in the Victorian era ever dreamed of losing his penny in the box, in full view of a television camera. Mr. Humpage pays the penalty for his appearance on TV by losing the penny. This is not the type of horse that used to pull number 15. If a horse can look surprised, this one did when it discovered it was harnessed to a tramcar. However, it soon got used to the idea. 60 years ago, the horse did not need leading, but our horse has only a few hours to practice before the great day, when he will be pulling the car full of passengers up and down Sheffield Moor. The city engineer's men prepare to load the valuable cargo onto a trailer, care being taken to see that no part of the cradle damages the new varnish or the car. Early on a cold December morning, the car was moved to the moor. It was over a year since track had been used, and it needed cleaning out. The Transport Department Chairman, Alderman S. Dyson, the Lord Mayor and Lady Mayoress, the General Manager and their guests were taken for a ride, from which they returned safely, after a few miles of photographic film had been expended. Old number 15 then took her place on a stand in High Street, where she remained among Sheffield's first Christmas illuminations during an inclement Christmas period, before returning once again to Crouch in spring sunshine. The entrance to Crouch is not very convenient for long loads, but number 15 did not hold up the local bus service, like one tram did when it reached the museum some time ago. A new entrance is planned for the museum, and soon the wall will not need rebuilding after each new arrival is received. The little tram has its own shed near the entrance, and the trailer was soon in the right position for rolling it onto the rails. The rear wheels are rolled away from the trailer, and the platform is lowered so that the car can be moved to terra firma. Although the front wheels of the car engaged with the rails at once, the angle of approach was poor, and strong arm methods were needed before the car was resting safely with all four wheels on its own track. The society horse was out to grass. Not even the standard 8 men, the French railway equivalent of one horse, were needed to push old number 15 into her final resting place. After its return to Crouch, the car had a period when it was once again used for carrying visitors along the length of track then available. But in the old days, tram horses were trained by men skilled in their craft, and we seem to have lost the secret. Now that the line is extended and the overhead equipment is used, the tram is once more out to grass, a valued exhibit, not to be risked too often in the hurly-burly of holiday passenger service. There are a number of old Sheffield electric cars at Crouch, some of these being in regular use during the summer weekends. Cars of all colours and types can be seen at Crouch. Number 49 came from Blackpool, where it first ran in 1904. Number 510, Sheffield's last car, is a baby among the exhibits. It was built in 1950. The illustrations on the sides show Sheffield trams from 1873. Number 46 started life as a Walkley single-decker with 5 side windows, but it was cut in two and made into a snowplough, and finally done up for the last tram procession in 1960. In 1967, after number 46 had been repainted, it was decided to have a little ceremony to record the completion of the work. The Lord and Lady Mayoress of Sheffield kindly consented to be present, and were greeted on arrival by Mr. Humpage, President of the Tramway Museum Society, and, incidentally, Sheffield's transport manager. The official party then travelled in number 46 along the museum tramway line. Number 46 had been specially decorated for the occasion. Sheffield tram number 189 was built in the body shop at Queen's Road during 1934 to a design first introduced in 1927. The car was one of the first to be given to the Tramway Museum Society. Here we see Sheffield's Lord Mayor driving number 46 at the end of the trip. When the journey was completed, the Lady Mayoress, Alderman Mrs. Graham, was presented with a bouquet by Seamus, the small son of a society member, who received a kiss by way of acknowledgement. The chairman of Crouch Parish Council, Mrs. Flinders, was also present to say a few friendly words before the President closed the formal part of a very happy occasion.